Good evening, my kingdom people. Today is Sunday, January the 4th, and I'm happy to be here to give you some words of encouragement. Welcome to the room, Proverbs 25:11. Most of the time that scripture is given to us from the King James Version, which is a word fitly spoken, is like apples of gold and pictures of silver. However, tonight I want you to hear it in the version of the Amplified, because I like the way the Amplified put it. It says, like apples of gold in settings of silver is a word spoken at the right time. That's something to think about. How many of you have heard so many things said so many times in so many ways and they not resonated with you? It's like, I've heard that before. Or you've had a book that you wanted to pick up and read because somebody else told you, oh, you know, that's a real good book. Oh, it's got some really good gems in it or whatever. And then you start to read the book and it doesn't resonate with you because it's like, it's just a book. It's just some words. It's not resonating. Yeah, that type of thing. I had a friend of mine say, I think books are written for those moments in your life. Hey, she might be right. So let's write the next chapter of our life. My name is Kathy, and I'm here to help you write the next chapter of your life. And whenever you watch this video, it may be at a time that you need these words. We've been talking about starting since January the 1st of 2026. We've been talking about getting out there and starting. We've been talking about starting with the small things. We've been talking about just start. It's not going to be perfect yet. You're going to bring it to perfection. So I want to give you guys 3 steps to go ahead and get started. 3 steps that I use to go ahead and get started. And we're going to put some biblical knowledge behind it. Step 1 is to hear God clarity. Before you move, listen. That's what I did. I prayed. Because I was like, God, I know you're asking more of me. I just don't know what the more is. I thought I knew what the more was, and I tried to move in that direction, and something didn't click. It's like it didn't work. Did it not work because I didn't stick to it? Did it not work because I didn't understand the plan? Did it not work because I didn't have a system? It didn't work because I didn't ask God if that was the direction he wanted me to go. That's why it didn't work. It didn't work because I had the answer without knowing or understanding. Oh, you guess what? You don't even have the answer. The answer you thought you had, that wasn't the answer. That's why it didn't work. I didn't understand that clearly then, but I understand it clearly now. So earlier, last year, I started praying and I started asking God for guidance, because I know you want me to do more, and I know that I can do more, and I know there's more to be done. I just need to know, what lane would you like me in? You one of those people that drive in the left lane all the time, although the signs say left lane is only for passing, and you drive over there all the time. And then the person riding with you is asking you, why you in this lane? Because you were going slower than everybody. And your response is, but I'm doing the speed limit. Okay, but the left lane is not for the speed limit. The left lane is to go faster than the speed limit, to get around the cars on the right. What am I saying? You've been driving in the wrong lane. Why? Because you ain't been paying attention to the law. You just been, the left lane, it look nice. It's clear. It's not, it give you more room. Because on the left lane, you got the little lane where you can just drive off if you need to drive off, where, if your car start breaking down, you get off. The right lane, you a little closer to dirt and trees and whatever else you a little closer to. Over here, you just feel like you got more lane because you in the left lane. The problem is you've been driving in the wrong lane. Left lane is for passing only. Right lane is for cruising. What lane you been in for the last 20, 30, 40 years? Now you got to stop. And you got to consult the law. You need to talk to God to find out, what lane do I need to be in? I know what lane I like driving in. I know what lane I would like to be in. I know what lane I thought I was going to be in. This lane ain't working for me. Y'all know y'all can't get pulled over being in that left lane just riding, right? Just thought I'd throw that in there. That's just, Jim, I thought I'd throw that in. You can't be. Officer has a right to just give you a warning. But they may see like, it's a big old sign back there that said left lane for passing on. She been riding left lane for the last 15 minutes. Who's she passing? So our first step is to hear God clearly. Before you move, listen. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 through 6 tells us to trust in the Lord with all our heart and lean not into our own understanding. In all of our ways, acknowledge him, and he shall direct our paths. So in other words, God is saying, if you look to me, I'll guide you. That's why I'm here. I'm the creator. I know how to direct my creation. Purpose does not begin with action. It begins with alignment. That's where purpose starts. It's not how busy you are. It's not all the things you can do. It's not your big to-do list and you're checking it all part by part. It begins with alignment. It begins with the why. Why do you have this to-do list? What is it to be done? And why? That's what we have to remember. Purpose begins with alignment, not the action. Many people rush into the year asking, what should I do? What should I do? How should I do it? Should I do this? Should I do that? How many times should I do it? Oh, is this right for me? What if this not right for me? And God came into the year saying, are you ready to trust me? You know, sometimes we look at our kids like, I don't know about y'all, but I have a 3-year-old. So sometimes my 3-year-old, he gets like all dramatic because he's like angry something isn't working. And I sit there like a parent, like, what we mad about? Because I'm trying to figure it out. Because in my head, I'm thinking, help is sitting right over here. Why is he so angry? Because I'm right here. Like, all you got to do is say, Mama, this is stuck. Mama, will you get this? Mama, can you turn this on? Mama, can you make this work? His big thing is the video game. He hates to turn over the controller to get help. He will sit and just mash buttons. Boom, boom. Now, mind y'all, I don't know how to play no video game, okay? He has older siblings that do. But I literally watched him this evening sitting there with that controller and get stuck like 1,000 times. And I kept saying, just pass the controller to your daddy, honey. Just pass the controller to your daddy. He was just like, I can't believe this. I'm stuck. I can't make it work. What's going on? And I just pass the controller to your daddy. Because I don't know how to work this either. That's God. You're saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. What if I do this and it doesn't work? What if I do that and it doesn't play out like I want it to? What if I make this plan and this plan goes correct? And God is saying, do you trust me? You know the text, ask and it shall be given, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be open. That's God. That's him saying, do you trust me? Hearing God requires stillness, surrender, and humility. It requires you to be still. It requires you to surrender your will to his. And it requires you to understand, hey, I don't have all the answers. I don't even know what I'm doing. But let me talk to the master, right? We see that a lot on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and whatever, people offering master classes. It takes the next person that says, I don't really know what I'm doing in order to click into that master class. Because you don't have a clue what you're doing. And it's like 20 people out there that's like, I've been doing this for 20 years. And you just like, I don't even know who to talk to. That's when you pray. Because the master knows what master class his masterpiece needs to step in. Let me say that again. The master knows what master class his masterpiece needs to step in. That's why I started praying. Because the internet is saturated with everybody that knows everything and you don't know who you can trust. It's saturated. So I had to talk to God. When we lean on our own understanding, we rush things. We trust the Lord, we wait. And waiting is not wasted time when God is giving us direction. I seen a post that said, if you're waiting on God, then do what waiters do and serve. And that is profound. If I'm waiting on God, then let me do what a waiter does and serve. And as you begin to serve others, God directs you on how to serve yourself. He gives you a clear vision. He gives you a clear path. If you can acknowledge him, he'll help you. Before you move, ask, Lord, what are you saying that I need to do in this season? What must I release before I can receive? And what direction have I been avoiding because it challenges me? I know what I've been avoiding. I've been avoiding a lot of stuff because it's a challenge. Let me tell you, it's a challenge for Kathy to get up 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning. It's a challenge. I don't get up no 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. I am a stay-at-home, homeschool mom. It's a challenge. And I said, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to let them start their lesson at 10. I'm going to get up at 9 o'clock. So I can get them up, get them to move in, get them, a quick breakfast or whatever. Because sometimes when you're too full, you can't think. But when you haven't had anything, you can't think either. So I said, I'm going to let them start at 10 o'clock. So I'm going to get up by 9. That's a challenge for me. It really is a challenge for me. And believe it or not, sometimes I wake up at 7. And I literally be woke. My challenge is just getting out of bed, making it happen. Because I be thinking, I'm so woke, I can't even go back to sleep. So I said, maybe you're supposed to be up. Faith starts when we listen, not when we leap. Maybe you're supposed to be up at 7. And you're supposed to be moving around and thinking and planning and laying things out and organizing things. Maybe that's your time without the little ones snatching at everything. Faith starts when we listen, not when we leap. God guides us. We just need to accept the guidance. The second step is to start small, and I think we spoke about this a couple of days ago. Start small. Faithful steps activate God's power. Zechariah chapter 4:6, that's what we was looking at in Zechariah chapter 4, verses 10. So we read verses 6 through 10, and we was talking about not by might nor by power, but by God's Spirit, said the Lord. Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. Start small. Getting up at 7, that's small. It's big in your mind, but it's really small because I already really be woke. I'm not a heavy sleeper. If I can get 5 to 7 hours, I'm pretty good. So I really already be woke. My house just don't be woke. My husband already be going to work. My oldest daughter be headed there. And the other 3 be knocked out like they just worked a 12-hour overnight shift. But perhaps that 7 a.m. is my time to get up and meditate on God's word and start my day off in prayer so that my day is organized. Hey, perhaps that's it. Many people delay purpose because they believe it starts big, but God specializes in small beginnings with eternal impacts. We delay purpose because we think it starts really big. I had that problem. I started thinking I needed everything organized. I needed everything laid out. I needed everything this way and that way. And then I just had an epiphany and I just said, I'm just going to start. And it's going to be all over the place and it's going to be messy. And I want to give a shout out to, I think, Joy Hunt. She's a lawyer in the city of Houston, Texas. And you probably see her on Instagram all the time. And her motto is start small or what she say? Start ugly and make it pretty later. Just start it. And I just thought about that. Like, yeah, just start all ugly and just make it pretty later. Just start. Because you got to start somewhere. You got to start. Right? Because if you keep saying, I'm going to start and I'm going to get it right, you ain't going to never start. Never. No, not at all. Purpose often begins with one conversation. That's your prayer. One idea. That's God answer back to you. One application. That's his to-do list. And one obedient yes. Think about that. Let me make it practical. Have a conversation with the bank about a loan. You guys come up with some ideas of what you could use the loan for, or how you can get a better interest rate, or how you can even get a better loan. Then they tell you, well, that's happening with applications. So let's go ahead and now that we know what you want the loan for and what do you plan on doing with it, we know what application you want to put in. We know how much we want to ask for, and we know the why that we want to give them. And then when the bank help you set up all of that, it's almost like they guaranteeing you a yes. Because you can't just walk in the bank and say, you know what, I think I need $50,000 because I kind of want to start a business. So I think I really want to help people with my business. So y'all got some applications? Now, a bad banker might be like, hell, your application. And you're going to feel that all kind of ways, and it's going to come back not approved. Why? Because you don't have anything down. So start with that one conversation, prayer to God. What is it that I'm supposed to be doing right now in this season of my life? What is it that I'm supposed to be doing that will glorify you, help your kingdom people, and help me in the return? So that I can continue doing this thing without a distraction. When you start, you won't have all the resources. When you start, you won't have all the answers. But when you start, what you need is obedience in the step that God has already told you to take. That's what you need. You don't need all the answers. You don't need all the resources. You just need to know he told me to take the step. And one step is just obey. I've already invested in you what I want you to do. I just need you to do it. I need you to do it. I tell my babies the same thing. Every time. I don't never understand the comeback when I say, I need you to do this, that, and the other. And the first thing they say is, it's not going to work. You need work. You ain't even did it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did you do this like earlier? Was this another life you did this? No, man. So why are we talking about what's not going to work? Why are we talking about what? I understand. Actually, if it was something obvious, like I'm saying, put that square peg in that round hole. Mama, the whole round, the block is square. But if I'm saying put that round peg in that round hole, and you looking at the hole from a distance, talking about, but that hole smaller than this round peg. It's smaller. You know why I'm telling you to put that round peg in that round hole? Because when I put them toys up, that's what I did. And it fit. God is saying the same thing. You know why I'm telling you to start here? Because when I wrote the book and I planned it, I already know the outcome. I already did it. Just do what God tells us to do. Just obey what he's already invested in you. You didn't get that idea just because you're human. You got that idea because you're God's creation. And you're made in his image. He put it there. Because he put us all on earth for a purpose. And inside of us, he gave us that purpose. And then the older we get, that purpose becomes clouded. Because now we have our own thinking mind. And we ain't, we ain't on that plane no more where we just do. Like when you were an infant. I looked at that one day. I said, man, wow, who really teaches a baby how to walk? You don't really teach a baby how to walk. A baby just copies you. Because it's already in them to be human. You don't really teach a baby how to feed themselves. They just copy you because it's already in them to be human. Because they were born a human baby. That's why. It's already in them to be God-like because God already put himself in them. You don't really teach a baby how to ask you for food. Because babies cry when they're hungry. Babies cry when they're wet. Babies cry when they're sleepy. Babies cry when they're hurting, when they're tired. God put that in them. And God's plan for the rest of your life, he already put in you. He just needs you to obey. If God gave you the vision, he'll supply the provision. Provision follows movement. You have to start. Start with prayer. Move with faith. Start where you are. Use what you have and trust the God that sent you. It's that small. It's that small. Step 3, move forward boldly. Faith requires action. Faith without works is dead. James chapter 2, verses 17. The Lord is with you. Judges chapter 6, verses 12. The Lord goes with you. When the Lord sends you, he goes with you. Now, if you go somewhere the Lord can't be, he ain't send you there. That's why he ain't going with you. He don't even know why you going. Faith is not passive. It moves. Not passive at all. In the book of Judges, we read about the war with Gideon. Gideon didn't feel like a warrior, but God called him one anyways. Why? Because I'm your creator. I invested this in you. God does not wait for us to have confidence. He builds our confidence as we obey him. He's not waiting on, you know how people say, I'm waiting on the Lord. To do what? He already created you. He already instilled in you his ability. He already instilled in you his image. You waiting on the Lord to do what exactly? You waiting on the Lord to come down and speak to you? Hello, I told you to move. This is God, your Father. He's not doing that part. He created you with the ability to hear him. He created you with the ability to understand him. You're not waiting on him. You just need to move in the direction he told you to move. That's all we need to do. So our confidence is built as we obey God. Purpose always demands courage because God calls us to be courageous. Courage to move without full clarity. Remember, he told Abraham to move into a land that he would show him. Abraham picked up his whole family and all his belongings. See ya. Based on the text, Abraham didn't know exactly where he was going. He told Joseph the same thing. He told Joseph to take Mary and to leave his homeland. Joseph picked up and left because trust was in God. God has already instilled in us the ability to do exactly what he told us to do. And now he's telling you to do it. You ask, what do you want me to do? He said, this is what I want you to do. And then you're like, oh, that? I thought you was going to say something like, I don't know. I didn't think you was going to say that. That's that imagination that if I knew the answer, why would I ask? I wouldn't ask because I know the answer. Asking would be redundant. Courage is to believe God over our fears and our anxieties and those things that hold us back. Courage is to trust that God will meet you in motion. As you move, he moves. And vice versa. As he moves, you should move. The only time you should stand still is when God goes forward. Let his glory be shown. The only time we should stand still is when we're listening. So we can hear. We do that with our kids. We tell our kids, how you walking away and I'm still talking? And it's proven that by the time they get to where they're going, they don't have a clue what you said. And then they come back with the statue face. Yeah, you couldn't have possibly heard me. As I was speaking, you were walking. But I thought you told me to go. You thought I told you to go get what? Because you were still walking. God is the same way. When God speaks, we need to stand still so we can hear him clearly. So we will know what he told us to do. That's what we need to do. So when we review the steps, we have step 1, talk to God. Ask God what it is that he wants us to do. What's my purpose? Step 2, start small. Because he's not going to tell you to start big. Because starting big is overload. Starting big, one of my favorite actors is Jim Carrey. And well, in some things, should I say. But I learned a lesson from him. A lot of people he worked with, they're like, he's such an overactor. And sometimes Jim Carrey puts so much stuff into a scene to where it goes from being funny to being silly. And you're just like, ready for the scene to be out. But he puts his all in it. And then sometimes he go overboard. So God is asking you to put your all in it. But he's asking that you start small. Just start small. I don't need you to be a Jim Carrey. No. I just need you to start real small. I need you to be what they call it, an extra. I just need you to be an extra, just in the background. Just fill the space up right now. Because you're going to go from being an extra to being bigger. But it's going to be on his time. Because you got to get the practice in. We know that, right? Sometimes we want to start a project and we're not really perfect on the project. And the project is already out there. And everybody got all their criticisms and all they disappointing words and all their letdowns. And you're just like, I did my best. And then you go backwards. And then you say, well, maybe I should have started small. Yeah. And then as you start small, you move forward boldly. Why? Because you know that God is moving with you. That's why you move boldly. Because you know that God is moving with you. I have a text that I want to read. A text that I really like. And it's Joshua chapter 1. verses 6 through 9. And this is one of my favorite texts. And I'll leave you with this tonight. This is one of my favorite texts. Joshua chapter 1, verses 6 through 9 say, Be strong and of good courage, for unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land, which I swear unto their fathers to give them. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest. This text had 4 verses. And I want to say it said at least three times. Be strong and of good courage. Be strong and of good courage. In 4 verses. Joshua chapter 1, verses 6 through 10. Verses 6 through 9. Joshua chapter 1, verses 6 through 9. The Lord told his people to be strong and of good courage. Ask God. Start small and move. Let's declare this together. This year, I will trust God completely. I will not despise small beginnings. I will move forward in obedience, knowing God is directing my steps. I step into my purpose by faith. Ask God. Start small and move into obedience. Be strong and courageous.